Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. This is your safe space for real talk about relationships, communication, and building the love life you actually deserve. Today, we're diving into something that trips up so many people in relationships. And I mean so many people. And that's the art of asking for what you need without feeling needy. Before we jump in, if you're serious about improving your relationships and learning communication skills that actually work in real life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, we share game-changing content every single week that's going to transform how you show up in your relationships. Subscribing takes 2 seconds, but the insights you'll gain, those last a lifetime. All right, let's get into it. The problem, why we struggle. So here's the thing. I've worked with hundreds of clients over the years, and one pattern shows up again and again. People would rather suffer in silence than ask their partner for what they need. Why? Because they're terrified of coming across as needy, demanding, or too much. Maybe you've been there. You want more quality time with your partner, but you don't say anything because you don't want to seem clingy. You need reassurance after a rough day, but you keep it to yourself because you don't want to be a burden. You wish your partner would help more around the house, but you bite your tongue because you don't want to nag. You crave physical affection, but you don't initiate because you're afraid of being rejected or seeming desperate. Sound familiar? Here's what happens when we operate this way. Resentment builds, connection fades. We start keeping score. We withdraw emotionally. We create stories in our heads about what our partner's behavior means. We convince ourselves that if they really loved us, they'd just know what we need without us having to ask. And eventually, the relationship suffers, not because the love isn't there, but because somewhere along the way, we lost the ability to communicate our needs effectively. Let me be crystal clear about something. Having needs doesn't make you needy. Wanting things from your partner doesn't make you demanding. Asking for what you need doesn't make you high maintenance. These are lies that keep us stuck in unfulfilling relationships where we're constantly hoping someone will read our minds. Understanding the difference, needs versus neediness. Before we go any further, we need to distinguish between healthy needs and actual neediness because they're not the same thing, not even close. Healthy needs are fundamental requirements for your emotional, physical, and psychological well-being. These include things like respect, honesty, affection, quality time, support, appreciation, and safety. Expressing healthy needs sounds like, I need us to have a dedicated time together without our phones, or I need you to follow through when you make a commitment, or I need physical affection to feel connected to you. Neediness, on the other hand, is when your sense of self-worth is entirely dependent on another person's validation, attention, or presence. It's when you require constant reassurance, when you can't function without your partner, when you need them to drop everything every time you have a feeling, or when you use emotional manipulation to get your needs met. Neediness comes from a place of insecurity and lack of self-worth. It's rooted in the belief that you're incomplete without the other person. Here's the key difference. Healthy needs come from a place of wholeness. You're a complete person who's inviting someone to share in your life and meet you halfway. Neediness comes from a place of emptiness. You're looking for someone to fill a void that only you can fill. When you're expressing a healthy need, you're saying, this is important to me, and I'm inviting you to understand that. When you're being needy, you're saying, I need you to fix me, complete me, or prove your love to me constantly. The cost of not asking. Let's talk about what happens when we don't ask for what we need because the consequences are real and they're damaging. First, resentment builds. Every time you don't speak up, you're adding a brick to a wall between you and your partner. You start keeping score. I do this for them, but they never do that for me. The problem is, your partner has no idea the game is even being played. They're going about their life completely unaware that you're silently tallying up grievances. Second, you create a dynamic where you're not showing up as your authentic self. Your partner falls in love with the version of you who doesn't need anything, who's easygoing, who never complains. But that's not the real you. That's a performance. And you can only keep up a performance for so long before you either explode or implode. Third, you rob your partner of the opportunity to show up for you. Think about it. When someone you love tells you what they need and you're able to meet that need, it feels amazing. It deepens intimacy. It creates connection. When you don't tell your partner what you need, you're actually denying them the chance to love you in the way you want to be loved. Fourth, you teach people how to treat you. If you never ask for anything, if you're always accommodating, if you always put their needs first, guess what message that sends? It tells them that your needs don't matter, that you're fine with whatever, that they don't have to consider you. Not because they're bad people, but because you've trained them that you don't have needs. And finally, not asking for what you need creates a relationship that's built on assumptions rather than understanding. You assume they should know. They assume you're fine. Both of you are operating from guesswork rather than actual communication. That's a recipe for disconnection and disappointment. The mindset shift, reframing how you think about needs. If you want to get better at asking for what you need, the first step is changing how you think about needs in the first place. Start here. Your needs are information, not demands. When you tell your partner what you need, you're giving them valuable information about who you are, how you're wired, and what makes you feel loved and secure. You're not making a demand. You're sharing insight that helps them understand you better. Second, mindset shift. A partner who loves you wants to know what you need. They're not sitting around hoping you'll stay silent so they can do whatever they want. A healthy partner actually wants to meet your needs because it makes you happy and your happiness matters to them. If someone gets defensive or annoyed every time you express a need, that's important information about them, not about whether your needs are valid. Third shift. Asking for what you need is an act of respect for both yourself and your partner. You're respecting yourself by honoring your needs instead of abandoning yourself. You're respecting your partner by being direct and honest rather than expecting them to read your mind or playing passive-aggressive games. Fourth shift. The right person for you will not be overwhelmed by your needs. I'll say it again for the people in the back. The right person will not be overwhelmed by your needs. If someone makes you feel like you're too much for having basic relationship needs, they're not your person. Full stop. And finally, vulnerability creates intimacy. When you open up and say, "This is what I need," you're being vulnerable. Vulnerability feels scary, but it's also the pathway to deeper connection. The most intimate relationships are built on two people who are willing to be honest about what they need and work together to create something beautiful. The framework, how to actually ask for what you need. All right, now let's get tactical. Here's a framework you can use to ask for what you need in a way that's clear, respectful, and effective. Step 1, get clear on what you actually need. Before you can communicate your need, you have to know what it is. This sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people say things like, "I need more," or "I need you to be different," without actually identifying the specific need. Spend some time reflecting. What's missing? What would make you feel more loved, more secure, more connected? Get specific. Instead of, "I need more attention," identify what that actually means. Does it mean you need a daily check-in conversation? Does it mean you need a weekly date night? Does it mean you need them to put their phone away during dinner? Step 2, choose the right time and place. Timing matters. Don't bring up important needs when your partner is stressed, tired, rushing out the door, or in the middle of something else. Don't ambush them with big conversations. Instead, set aside dedicated time. You can say something like, "Hey, I want to talk about something that's important to me. Can we set aside some time this evening to chat?" This gives your partner a heads up and ensures you both have the mental and emotional bandwidth for the conversation. Step 3, use I statements, not you accusations. This is communication 101, but it's crucial. Frame your needs from your perspective, not as criticisms of your partner. Instead of, "You never spend time with me," try, "I need more quality time with us together." Instead of, "You don't care about my feelings," try, "I need to feel heard when I share something that's bothering me." Instead of, "You're always on your phone," try, "I need our dinner time to be phone-free so we can connect." See the difference? I statements share information about your internal experience. You statements put the other person on the defensive. Step 4, be specific about what you're asking for. Vague requests lead to frustration because even if your partner wants to meet your need, they don't know how. Don't say, "I need you to be more romantic." Say, "I'd love it if we could have a date night once a week where we go out and do something together, just the two of us." Don't say, "I need more affection." Say, "I feel most connected to you when we hug and kiss hello and goodbye, and when we cuddle on the couch while watching TV." The more specific you are, the easier it is for your partner to actually meet your need. Step 5. Explain why it matters to you. Help your partner understand the deeper reason behind your need. This creates empathy and helps them see why it's important. I need us to communicate about our plans in advance because when things change last minute, I feel anxious and out of control, and it's hard for me to relax and enjoy our time together. I need you to greet me when you come home because those first few moments of connection set the tone for our evening, and it helps me feel like we're on the same team. When you explain the why, you give context that helps your partner understand your internal world. Step 6. Make it a conversation, not a monologue. After you've shared your need, give your partner space to respond. Ask them how they feel about it. Are they willing to work on this? Do they have any concerns? Is there anything they need in return? Healthy relationships are about finding solutions together, not one person dictating terms to the other. Be open to dialogue. Be willing to hear their perspective. Be ready to collaborate on finding a solution that works for both of you. Step 7. Appreciate efforts, even imperfect ones. When your partner makes an effort to meet your need, even if they don't get it perfect right away, acknowledge it. Thank them. Let them know you see their effort and it matters to you. People are more likely to continue behaviors that get positive reinforcement. If you only point out when they fall short, they're going to stop trying. But if you celebrate their efforts, they'll keep showing up. Common mistakes to avoid. Let's talk about what not to do when asking for what you need, because these mistakes will sabotage your efforts every time. Mistake number 1, being passive-aggressive. Don't hint. Don't drop subtle clues. Don't make sarcastic comments and expect your partner to decode them. Don't punish them for not reading your mind. Be direct. Mistake number 2, building up resentment before speaking up. Don't wait until you're so frustrated that you explode. Don't let things accumulate until you have a laundry list of complaints. Address needs as they come up when you can still communicate calmly. Mistake number 3, framing your need as a criticism. Your need is not an indictment of your partner's character. Don't say, "I need you to be more considerate because you're so selfish." Say, "I need us to check in with each other about our schedules because it helps me feel considered and included." Mistake number 4, making ultimatums instead of requests. "If you don't do this, I'm leaving" is not asking for what you need, and that's threatening. There's a time and place for boundaries, but most needs can be communicated as invitations to connect, not threats. Mistake number 5, expecting immediate perfection. Your partner won't get it right 100% of the time, especially at first. They're learning what you need and how to meet it. Give them grace. Focus on progress, not perfection. Mistake number 6, using your needs as a weapon during arguments. Don't weaponize vulnerability. If your partner opens up about their needs, don't throw it back in their face during a fight. That destroys trust and ensures they'll never be vulnerable with you again. When your needs aren't being met, Okay, so what happens when you do ask for what you need, but your partner isn't meeting those needs? This is where it gets tricky. First, make sure you've communicated clearly. Sometimes we think we've been clear when we actually haven't. Have you explicitly stated your need, or have you been hinting? Have you been specific or vague? Make sure your partner truly understands what you're asking for. Second, check if your need is reasonable. I'm not saying your needs don't matter, but there's a difference between I need you to text me once during the day to check in, and I need you to text me every hour or I'll assume you don't love me. One is reasonable, the other is anxious attachment showing up as a need. Third, consider whether your partner is able to meet this need. Some needs require resources, time, or emotional capacity that your partner genuinely doesn't have right now. That doesn't mean your need is invalid, but it might mean you need to find other ways to get that need met or adjust your expectations temporarily. Fourth, look at patterns. Is your partner generally responsive to your needs, or is this part of a larger pattern of dismissiveness? One need going unmet might be a one-off situation. Multiple needs consistently going unmet is a bigger issue that signals a fundamental incompatibility or lack of care. And finally, know when it's time to reevaluate the relationship. If you've clearly communicated your needs, they're reasonable needs, your partner is capable of meeting them, but they're consistently choosing not to, that's telling you something important. At some point, you have to decide if you're willing to accept a relationship where your needs aren't prioritized. Building a relationship where needs are welcome. The ultimate goal is to create a relationship culture where both people feel safe expressing their needs without fear of judgment, rejection, or being labeled as needy. Here's how you build that. Create a judgment-free zone. When your partner shares a need, your job is to listen, understand, and consider, not to immediately defend, dismiss, or minimize. Even if you can't meet the need, you can still validate that it matters to them. Make it reciprocal. Don't just share your needs, invite your partner to share theirs. Ask them what they need from you. Show them that you care about meeting their needs just as much as you want them to care about meeting yours. Normalize the conversation. Don't only talk about needs during relationship crisis moments. Make it a regular part of your communication. Check in with each other. How are we doing? Is there anything you need from me right now? Is there anything I can do to support you this week? Celebrate when needs are met. Don't take it for granted when your partner shows up for you. Express gratitude. Let them know their efforts matter. This positive reinforcement creates a cycle where both people feel good about meeting each other's needs. Repair when you fall short. You're human. Sometimes you're going to miss the mark. Sometimes you're going to forget. Sometimes you're going to fall back into old patterns. When that happens, apologize, recommit, and do better. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress and persistence. Here is what I really want you to understand. A relationship where you can't ask for what you need is not a relationship where you can fully be yourself. And a relationship where you can't be yourself is not a relationship where you can truly be happy. The right person, your person, will not make you feel bad for having needs. They will not shame you, dismiss you, or make you feel like you're too much. They will listen, they will consider, they will try. They might not always get it perfect, but they will care that it matters to you. And that's what healthy love looks like. It's not about finding someone who requires nothing from you or who you require nothing from. It's about finding someone where there's a mutual willingness to show up, to listen, to adjust, to grow, and to meet each other in the middle. Your needs matter. Your voice matters. Your happiness matters. Don't shrink yourself or silence yourself to make someone else comfortable. The right person will have room for all of you, including your needs. All right, I hope this video gave you some real, practical tools for asking for what you need without that uncomfortable, needy feeling. Remember, having needs is human. expressing needs is healthy, and being with someone who welcomes your needs, that's what you deserve. I want to hear from you in the comments below. What's one need you've been afraid to express in your relationship? Or if you've successfully asked for what you need, how did you do it? Drop your questions, your stories, your struggles. This community is here to support each other, and I read every single comment. If you found this helpful, please give this video a like and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Seriously, you might be helping someone transform their relationship just by hitting that share button. And before you go, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we've got so much more relationship content coming your way. We cover everything from communication skills to conflict resolution, from dating advice to building deeper intimacy. Every single day, we're dropping videos designed to help you create the love life you actually want. Check out some of our previous videos on the channel too. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you're worthy of having your needs met. Now go out there and start asking for what you need. You might be surprised by how willing people are to give it to you when you actually ask. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your relationships. I'll see you in the next video.